One point with Arnold Gamboa.
Let's talk about toxic positivity. And I know this is something that is a little controversial. Magiging controversial tayo ng konti ha. I'm going to explain in a little while. Meron tayong tinatawag na toxic positivity. Merong hope, positivity, yung we want to be hopeful, we want to be positive in life, and there's such a thing as toxic positivity. And I'm going to explain this because I'm a little passionate about this because I want all of us to learn out of this. Itong toxic positivity, halos lahat tayo, kahit ako minsan nangyayari din sa akin to. So part of the things that I want to do dito sa channel na to is to learn together, hindi lang from what the word of God says, but also from the practical side of things, no? So let's talk about toxic positivity. Ano ba yung toxic positivity? Alam niyo yung when there's something in life that you know that's bothering you, or something in life that your family, your friends suffering, and then you will just try to dismiss the suffering that's happening around you. Halimbawa, sinasabi natin, nawalan ng trabaho, halimbawa, yung kaibigan natin, nawalan siya ng trabaho. Sabi mo, sasabihin mo sa kanya, okay lang yan, pre. Okay lang yan. That's toxic positivity. Alam niyo kung bakit? Kasi, nawalan na nga ng trabaho yung kaibigan mo, sasabihin mo pa, okay lang yan. Hindi yan okay. Hindi yan okay. Hindi yan okay. Halimbawa, I have some friends that their parents right now are suffering. Some of them are experiencing dementia. Yung iba, they have some heart problems. They are bedridden, and they would come to me and they would say, Arnold, this is what's happening with my parents right now. What would I say? Will I say, okay lang yan, gagaling din sila. Okay lang yan, gagaling din sila. Paano pag hindi gumaling? Toxic positivity, madalas na nangyayari ito sa atin. Instead of being with your friend and suffering with them, we try to encourage them by being positive, but by doing so, we're doing harm than good. Instead of encouraging them, we sometimes belittle or diminish their suffering. Madalas nangyayari to, isang example nito, pagka mayroong sakuna na nangyayari dito sa atin sa Pilipinas. Pag may sakuna, may bagyo, may lindol na maraming nangyayaring maraming namatay, maraming nasugatan, maraming nawalan ng bahay. Palagi natin sasabihin, sa Facebook, makikita mo to madalas, ang dami natin makikita ng ganito. Sinasabi natin, kayang-kaya ng mga Pilipino yan. We are a resilient people. We are a resilient nation. Which is, in fact, true. With our experience, for the past 4 decades of my life, I've seen this happen. We are a resilient people. But the problem is that by just thinking that everything, because the Filipino people is resilient, ang nangyayari sa atin, hindi na tayo tinatry nating i-improve ang mga bagay-bagay na nangyayari sa paligid natin. Pag sinabi natin na resilient naman ang mga Pilipino so wag na lang nating ayusin yung ating mga daan. Wag na lang nating ayusin yung ating drainage system. Kaya tayo binabaha, wag na lang natin ayusin drainage system natin. Resilient naman mga Pilipino Di ba? Or wag na lang natin ayusin yung bahay natin kasi resilient naman mga Pilipino Kayang-kaya naman natin yung ayusin. Kaya-kaya naman nating panagumpayan yung mga pagsubok na yan. So, toxic positivity. Alright? Last example, and then I'm going to try to wrap this up and try to share with you what we should do pag merong mga sakuna, pag merong mga problema na kinaharap tayo at yung mga kaibigan natin. And I don't want to, and this is not a political blog. I don't want to be political, no? And this is not something that bashes our president, President Rodrigo Duterte, pero ito ay naging trending this week. I'd like to show this because this is a mirror of us. Ako din, no? Ganito din kasi tayo mag-isip, no? Ito yung kasi sa isang speech ni President Duterte, sabi niya, do not despair. No? Kaya natin to, itong COVID na to, maliit na bagay lang to sa buhay natin. Maliit lang daw to na bagay. Marami tayong dinaanan na mas grabe, mas mahirap, sabi ni President Duterte. Which is true. No? Totoo naman yon na marami tayong pinagdaanan na mas mahirap, na kaya natin to, maliit na bagay lamang daw ito. I understand the heart of the President. He wants to encourage us. And the reason why I show that is because it is reflective of how we deal with things, no? Tayo dito, sa akin din, minsan ganun ang pananaw ko sa buhay. Palagi sinasabi natin, maliit na bagay lang to. Maliit na bagay lang to, kaya natin to, no? Hindi natin kailangang encourage yung mga tao sa mga ganitong bagay kasi maliit lamang tong bagay nito eh. Pero ang totoo nito, hindi yun maliit na bagay. Ang nangyayari sa buhay natin ngayon, COVID-19, 7,999, it's not small. People dying, it's not small. So some people feel offended by that. And I again, as I said, I understand where the president is coming from. But some people who had some relatives that has died were feeling offended by that. Some who lost their jobs and they feel like this is not something that's small. Malaking bagay to para sa kanila. They feel offended by that. Now, anong dapat ang tamang bagay? Ano ba talaga dapat ang gagawin natin when there's something that is bothering us, when we have a friend that is suffering? Ano ba ang dapat nating gawin? What we need to do is to join them in suffering, empathize with them. Even we sympathize with them. We sympathize with them, and then let's provide hope. Let's try to uplift them with the word of God, with the understanding that God is in control of everything. Say for instance, no, you have a friend that lost his job. You don't say, okay lang yan, kayang-kaya mo yan. You can say, I understand what you're going through, tutulungan kita na makahanap ng trabaho. Or God has the best in mind para sa'yo. Pag may namatay ka na kaibigan, nakamatayan na kaibigan mo, namatay ang kanyang parents dahil sa COVID-19, don't say, okay lang yan. Makakaraos din tayo. You say, I am here for you, I am with you, I am suffering with you. And then you say, with God's help, we can overcome all of these things. Right? Ganun yun. Let's suffer with them. Let's suffer and empathize, sympathize with our friends, with our relatives who are undergoing through some problems in life. Because what we are all having nowadays, itong mga pinagdadaanan natin sa mundo, dito sa atin sa Pilipinas, is not small. This is a big deal. And we can only go through this if all of us will suffer together and do things together. Let's all be mindful of what we say. Let's all be mindful of how we relate with others who are suffering. And at the same time, let's do our best to encourage them with the love of God in our midst.
1 point with Arnold Gamboa.